Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Gennaro with us. He has served the South Florida region for over 17 years. He provides amazing magic shows and balloon twisting for families in Broward, Miami, and West Palm Beach. He creates a positive atmosphere filled with uplifting energy, excitement, laughter, and fun. Best of all, his shows are affordable and suitable for all ages. So welcome to the show, man.
Hi, thank you, Tyler. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course, man. Grateful to have you here. We'll dive into the first one, man. The first question I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Well, Tyler, I faced many hardships and unfortunate events in my life. And, I've never let these negative events steal my faith in Jesus and my happiness and peace. I refuse to give up on myself and God. So the message is, no matter what life throws at you, to keep on believing, keep on, keeping your head up and just never give up, man.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Well, I believe kindness. Be kind to yourself and others. My job is to create an atmosphere of uplifting, positive energy filled with happiness, laughter, and excitement. And Tyler, you never know what another person is going through when you come across their path. And just by simply being kind to them, you can actually change the whole trajectory of their day and possibly even their life.
I agree, man. That's huge. And what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific. And maybe you could touch on this because I'm just curious, like, how did you get into like being a magician? Like, how did that all start? And like, how did you create a business out of it?
Right. So just to go with the first, answer the first question, my best overall business advice would be to treat your customers as if they were family. That's my best piece of advice. That's what I follow myself. And just to touch on how to get into magic, I truly believe that God, gives us all individual talents and gifts. Because I was 8 years old when I received a magic set on Christmas Day. And I was so intrigued by this magic set, Tyler. I practiced it. I learned. And by the age of 9 years old, I actually started doing my first magic show was for Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital in Hollywood, Florida at 9 years old. And ever since then, I practiced and I put a lot of work and time and effort into it. Ironically, I've never had like a magician model, so to speak, to follow after. I was basically self-taught, or I like to say, God-taught.
Got it, man. Very cool. So 8 years old when you got the set, and already by 9 you were already doing shows.
Can you believe it, Tyler? 9 years old. Here's a 9-year-old version of me. I called the hospital myself. I arranged all the details of the event. The hospital staff could not believe that I was the one organizing this event. At 9 years old, not only did I perform the show at the hospital, I actually organized the show as well. To get into the hospital, who do I talk to? And can I talk to the person in charge of this department? And it was just amazing.
Dude, that in itself is amazing. That is freaking – dude, I'm just like picturing like this little kid like just doing – like picking up a phone, like making business calls, setting things up, and then he's sitting out of debt. I don't know. A lot of things are going through my head. That's so cool, man.
Cool. And back then we didn't really have the luxury of the internet and the computer. Back in the days, right, so to speak. So I actually had to use the phone book, and it was really cool.
Yeah, dude, that makes it even, dude. That you should literally find like an artist or something to just like sketch that out unless you have pictures. Because like I literally am envisioning the coolest image, like you at a desk, like with this big like Yellow Pages phone book on a phone, making that, and then like just in front of everybody at the hospital. I think you said, and yeah, dude, that's awesome, man.
I actually, they wrote me a letter, a thank you letter, and I still have the letter to this day from Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital, expressing their gratitude for the show, along with pictures, me, a little 9-year-old magician.
That is so cool, man. Very
yeah,
cool.
awesome.
So yeah, I mean, the next one I have for you, and I don't know if you do, it looks like you were already on track by 9 years old. So, but if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Being younger, I kind of struggled with patience. I was a very fast-paced person. I like to build very quickly and jump into things. I'm very energetic. So I would give myself, to have a little bit more patience. Take it more slow, and set that really like firm foundation of patience.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
Tyler, to me, it's relationship with Jesus, and God and the Holy Spirit. Also, taking good care of yourself through exercise, proper nutrition, and rest.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Tyler, man, I gotta say the best book I've ever read is the Bible. And the number one thing that I've ever learned from the Bible is to develop, maintain a connection with the creator of the universe, God.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
Okay, so this is from Psalm 91. It's whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. And Tyler, just we live in a world of uncertainties. And any given moment we can be hit with bad news. A bad medical report, a car accident, a hurricane. I mean, if we just turn on the news, we can see this going on all around us. And this Bible verse, personally has demonstrated truth in my life and just gives me an overwhelming sense of peace and security.
Dude, thank you for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. The last question that I have for you before we let you go is, especially I'm sure anybody listening that's in the Miami, South Florida area, is where can they connect and find you online?
Yeah, absolutely. So my website, is a great place to start, www.gennarromagic.com. Or you can always follow me on Instagram at Gennaro.the.magician.
Perfect, man. Thanks again for jumping on.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyler. Have a beautiful day, man.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.